Tax Wrong Apparel is just this small business apparel brand that I've launched. It's only been a couple months. I started at the beginning of the school year. I kind of was playing around with some digital art last year. I'm an artist, so what I'm used to is just. Hey, yo, guys, welcome back to the new set of adulting. As you can see, the stuff looks kind of weird today. I'm with Avril, and we're doing a
Hi.
Zoom chat currently. How's it going, Avril?
I'm good. How are you? We're stuck in quarantine. Um,
Yeah.
I've gotten bored to the point where I've been playing GTA 5 to make myself feel like I still have a life outside of my home and I'm still like allowed to go out and do things. Uh, yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Uh, yeah, so you guys can see this. There's a little bit of awkward pauses going on here, so please forgive us for this episode. It might be going like this for the next 2 weeks, I think, just until we can get it cleared that people can start mingling or being socializing a little bit more than we currently are. Right now, we're not really supposed to be socializing at all, and that's why
Right.
Avril and I are doing this through webcam.
Yeah, we have our governor just put out a stay-at-home order a couple days ago about the the coronavirus, and basically starting from today up until Friday 2 weeks from now, you're supposed to stay home. You can still go out to walk your dog or like be active, and you can still go to work, go to like the grocery store if you need it or anything. But um, you're the order is that you're supposed to stay at home, and like I mean, I don't know how exactly they're enforcing it, but the rule is that anyone that gets caught like socializing would be set would get $1,000 misdemeanor ticket. But I don't know how exactly they're gonna enforce that. But that's
Yeah.
that's the
How
situation.
Avril, how long do you think that this virus is really going to be out there, like in the United States, like still
Um,
affecting us?
I I don't know. I feel like this could honestly, the earliest I'd say that this goes away would be probably like end of April. So
You really think that early? To be honest, I feel like
that's the earliest. That's the earliest. Like
yeah.
if I were to give it a range, I'd probably say like end of April. So that's in a month.
Mm,
Um, Beginning August
yeah,
would be the
yeah.
latest.
So right now they're saying that school should be resuming May 4th. In your opinion, do you actually see that happening? Because I mean, our school has over 4,000 people there, including staff. And so just to put us all back into this location with this virus spreading right now, I think that could be dangerous. So what's your opinion on this?
Um, well, for our school personally, I feel like they are just not going to reopen
Yeah.
anyway because of everything that's going on at our school anyway. With the construction that's going on, how they've kind of basically shut down entire parts of the school anyway. It would just give them an opportunity to um, work more efficiently on the construction, where they don't have to tiptoe around a couple thousand kids every day. And also, since our school, we started earlier this year than usual, if we went back on May 4th,
That's like
that would be
2.5 weeks
two
of
and a
school.
half weeks of school left. And I don't think the school district, like, I'm pretty sure the school district finds that not very effective, and so do most parents. um yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I believe we've already had the last day of our senior year.
It's unfortunate. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say something really quick. So we just dropped episode 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Episode
And
5. Yep.
Uh, things are going crazy. Episode 4, we thought it wasn't going to be getting any views, or at least I thought. Avril had the confidence. I got nervous because, it was 3 days after and we were still at 130 views. And I was like, okay, well, it's kind of late now. Like, how's it going to pop off? Overnight, we spiked 1,000 views, and now the video is currently at 6,000 plus views. Hey, Dramos, who, if you don't know who that is, he's the producer of The Breakfast Club, which is one of the biggest hip hop podcasts out there. So personally, I thought that was really cool. How'd you feel about that, Avril?
Yeah, the video's at 6.6K right now, and yeah, so something I did was I just went on Instagram last night, and I just made a post on the account because it feels like we've been doing this for a while, but it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah,
which is it's crazy, but we've
the whole
kind of
quarantine life has made it everything feel like it's been way longer, I think.
yeah. I feel like I don't know it. The other day I was talking to someone and I was like, dude, it feels like I've like haven't seen you in forever, or I haven't like gone to school in forever, and apparently it's only been like 9 or 10 days since we last went to school.
Yeah, and if you think about it, technically we're on spring break right now. Like,
Yeah,
even if this virus wasn't going on, we had the spring break, but like just the fact that we can't go anywhere makes everything feel like way longer than it's actually been.
yeah. Something I did today was because it's been so long and I just got bored. Something that I personally did to beat the boredom was I created a vlog channel.
A vlog channel?
Yep.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be posting Mondays and Thursdays. It's called Avril Chauhan Vlogs. Go subscribe to me on YouTube. And I've been sitting on that for the past 20 minutes.
Oh my God. What are you going to be posting during this times?
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. I gotta figure out how to be entertaining while being
Mm-hmm.
stuck at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's a challenge. I'm willing to take on that challenge. Also, link will be in the description down below. Make sure you go hit subscribe. Um, so it's a challenge for
Wow.
sure, but I think I can do it.
Mm.
I mean, like we weren't so sure about what we were gonna do with this podcast at first either, but kind of just jumped, just went for it, and it's going well so far. So
Yeah.
today, I wanted to talk to you about one of your ventures,
Mm.
um, Pack Strong Apparel.
Yeah. I'm
I
repping the
believe
merch.
you're wearing the hoodie right now.
I'm repping the merch right now, actually.
So, just why don't you go ahead and explain what Pack Strong is to everyone that's watching that doesn't know?
Yeah. So basically, Pack Strong Apparel is just this small business apparel brand that I've launched. It's only been a couple months. I started at the beginning of the school year. I kind of was playing around with some digital art last year. Uh, I'm an artist, so what I'm used to is just doing like drawings and paintings and stuff. And I decided to download some like editing software on my computer, some like digital art stuff, kind of like Photoshop. Except, I went the cheaper route just for now. Uh, I don't got a whole lot of money. That's how that works. And so what I did is I started playing around with this different stuff, and I came up with some designs, and I was like, I might as well like put this to use, and maybe I'm gonna start an apparel brand because I'm into fashion. I like hoodies and streetwear, outerwear, t-shirts and stuff. And so what I did is I created this brand that's supposed to be a brand that's built to unite people. As a high schooler, I've realized kind of how difficult it is to find a group that you really belong in. I mean, Avril and I talked about this in one of our previous episodes about how we never really could. Neither of us really felt like we could identify with one specific group. We kind of got along with so many people. And I think there's a lot of people in high school who don't really know what they're planning on doing yet in life. And it can be really difficult and stressful. And my goal was to basically like unite people who want to become individuals, want to express their creativity all around the world. And currently I have a couple hoodies, some t-shirts, and hats. It's kind of more winter stuff right now. I'm trying to clear out some merchandise maybe so I can drop some new stuff in the summer. But I mean, that's kind of where I'm going with it right now.
Do you have anything left in stock?
Yeah, so I got a couple things of everything right now in stock. I think I might do a sale pretty soon on the website. I think that'd be good. It's kind of stressful though right now because with the whole virus going on,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people really want to be making like purchases right now, just
What
because.
is? Where can we find the website?
Yeah, so you could find me at www.packstrongapparel.com. And the link will also be in the bio or in the description of this video. Make sure to check that out. I spend a lot of time on that website, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
Where would you like to see it go?
Um,
Like,
well,
what are some of your goals for this company?
so I don't know if it's necessarily something that I intend to keep forever. It was more like a hobby. Like I wanted to like be able to start like expressing my art more in public to people and like showing what I could do. And I'm actually going to be going to college for entrepreneurship, and so I kind of wanted to like start dabbling in it because I have a dad who is a small business owner, and I kind of wanted to get an idea of what it's like to own your own business and like all the things you have to do to manage it. And it is a lot of work. I've had a lot of fun with it though so far, and I'm not really sure if what I intend on doing is pursuing apparel. You know, I'll see where this podcast goes. Maybe my own YouTube channel soon. I was thinking about starting to do some like art stuff during this quarantine that people might like some custom shoes, you know, giving those out. Uh, we'll see where it all goes. But from now, what I'd like to do is just be able to like reach people and like express my identity and like maybe provoke people to be more willing to express their own creativity.
Okay. What? So, just I want to ask you, what was the motivation behind starting this, or like, what drove you to it?
Um, well, like I said, I just never really felt like I belonged in a specific group, and I know for a fact that I'm not the only one who probably feels that way. And high school is definitely rough, especially when you go to a high school with thousands of kids, and it's easy to go kind of unnoticed sometimes. And I just, I don't know, I kind of wanted to become more of a leader within my social space, like around people. And I wanted to like show that I wasn't just somebody who, I don't know, would go unnoticed. I kind of wanted to leave a mark.
Like, do you want? So it was basically about not just being another student, not being
Mm.
like how I like to say it is, you're not just a number.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to be a leader within society, and I think that's still something that I really am passionate about pursuing throughout the rest of my life, whether it's Pack Strong Apparel, adulting podcast, my own platform. But I think that's what I'm trying to just do right now is just build myself a platform to be able to reach a larger audience of people.
Um, so yeah, talk more about about wanting to have a larger platform. Like, what do you mean by that, and why do you want that?
Mm. Um, well, I guess throughout the 18 years I've been alive, I know that it's not very long, but I've always been intrigued by whether it be movies, acting, uh, really big influencers. They've motivated me to be creative, and uh, the feeling that of motivate really empowering, and I think that it's really important to motivate the youth and the upcoming members of our society, because they're truly going to be the leaders later on in the future, and they're going to determine uh, what life is like and how we live it. And so if I can provide the smallest bit even of motivation to people who are creative, our leaders and our individuals, I think that that's really important. And I don't know, I guess building a platform is the best way to get your name out there and be able to communicate with a mass audience.
So what you just said was, that young people are going to determine what life is like in the future. My
Hmm.
question for you is this this pandemic that we're kind of living through right now. I mean, we're living through history right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this will have like some sort of significant change in the way that people move?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I guess it still depends really on how long this continues to go on in the United States, because in my opinion, this might just be the beginning of this virus and this pandemic within the United States. I'm not really sure if it's nearly done, because we don't have a cure for it yet. As you know, with a lot of other viruses, once you create an antibody, the virus tends to mutate. Am I right?
Yeah.
And so when if this virus were to mutate like sooner in the future, and it comes back even more aggressive than it is right now, well, that could be a serious problem. And if we're not ready for that, I think it'll drastically change society and how we live. And just the being quarantined, I think that really affects people, their mental health, their ability to communicate with others. And I think it showed the power of social media, but it also showed the power um, that people require to face-to-face communicate. Like right now, what we're doing through the computer, it's not the same as if you were to be sitting right across from me right now and we were to be filming face-to-face. It's definitely a different feeling. And I think the feeling of personal connection that being with someone provides is definitely important. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts us within the next however long this ends up lasting.
Yeah, something about so what you just mentioned, what about like that we don't have a cure for it.
Mm,
Um, I read something a couple days ago. I believe it was on the Guardian.
mm,
So and basically what it said was that doctors have found out that um this strain of coronavirus, since it's not the flu,
mm,
it's a strain of SARS, which
yeah.
is a respiratory disease. It actually does not mutate as fast as most other viruses do,
Hmm.
and it might be easier to create a vaccine for this. However, since this has never come up in the past, this is gonna be kind of like what it was for when they had to create the flu vaccine for the first time, like the flu
Mm,
shot. So,
yeah.
I mean, doctors are saying that a vaccine is probably at least a year away right now.
Yeah. And
But
even when the vaccine is first released, they're only going to be able to give out such a limited number per day, and it's not going to truly be as positively impactful as we're hoping it to be. And like, I hope you're right that like about the fact that it doesn't mutate as fast. But I think what we've noticed right now during these times is not every source from the news is really like true, because you read one thing one day and you read the complete opposite thing the next day from a different source. And so right now I feel like no one really knows what the hell is going on, and I think that's definitely really difficult, because I mean, I hope that it ends up not being that bad, but we have no idea.
um, something about the what you just mentioned, uh, that you can't really trust every news source. I definitely do agree with that because times of crisis is when a lot of like angry people like to show up and pop out. And what I mean by that was something I saw the other day, and this is on every mainstream news channel like CNN, NBC, Fox News, everything was the governor of Michigan. So Doctors in certain areas, they were trying to treat coronavirus patients with like a certain drug. Excuse me, and it was working pretty well actually. Um, it was because really coronavirus, like any virus, the virus itself doesn't kill you. It's the symptoms that kill you once they get bad enough. And basically, what these doctors were able to do was like soften the symptoms until the virus ran its course and cycled through the body. And um, this governor basically said that they're not going to allow the state of Michigan is not going to allow treatments using that drug, which to me it seemed like to me it kind of seemed unnecessary for the governor to do that, because in a time of crisis it seemed like it was a politically charged move, because so the governor of Michigan is a very outspoken Democrat, and the president, who's a Republican, he like publicly said, like, he publicly commended like the doctors that came up with the treatment for this, like the treatment that they were using that was working in certain cases, and basically said that, good job to the doctors for coming up with something that maybe works like 75% of the times.
Mm.
Even that's not that great, but I mean it's better than nothing. And the governor basically kind of shut that down and said, in my state, a doctor is not allowed to prescribe this drug even if you have coronavirus.
Hmm.
um that just that upset me, because it doesn't matter what you support at the end of the day. Everyone's a human.
Is
And
is the drug like somehow negatively impactful or
it's called hydroquinone,
okay.
and that's a drug that I've actually taken in the past for my skin condition.
Mm.
And basically it's like a immunosuppressant, and it kind of I'm pretty sure the mixture, it works differently, but for what it did for me was it actually weakened my immune system, because what my illness is a autoimmune deficiency, so that means my immune system fights against my own organic cells. And so from what I understand was what these doctors are doing, that they were prescribing this drug that was seemingly weakening or like strengthening the immune system, so it would um it would not worsen the symptoms. It was kind of working like a painkiller, but a very, very strong painkiller.
Mm.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, that the governor decided that's not a good option for her stay and shut that down.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely difficult for like political leaders during this time because, I mean, I don't think you can't really prepare for this.
Yeah.
It's never really happened in recent times. This is definitely something, like you said, that it's going to go down in history, and so having this never have like existed to this extreme of measures before. I mean, every everything you do, every step you take, and every word you say is going to have an impact.
Just yesterday, news came out that China was once again starting social distancing policies. So
After they
seeming
had started to stop.
seemingly after, they said that their last patient had been cleared and they didn't have any more cases, their lead. So okay, so since China is a state controlled media country, as in their government controls the press, so really whatever their government says is news. um so seemingly after they said that they had cleared all cases, China now is starting social distancing policies. And the government said that it's not because they've had any new cases, it's just so they don't have cases pop up again.
Mm.
Which seems kind of fishy to me, as to why they would do this after starting to close down or starting to like reopen movie theaters and stuff like that. So what do you think about that?
I mean, it's difficult because obviously neither of us live in China, and I don't have any connection with anybody that lives in China. Uh, but just with going on what's going on all across the world with the shortages of tests, I definitely think that it's possible when they said, "Oh, this is the last person or whatever to be cleared with it." Oh, there definitely could still be thousands of other people who are infected with it, and they have no idea. And so, I guess it is a little suspicious, but I am glad that if they're not telling the whole truth, they are at least deciding to go back into social distancing. Because could you imagine like what could possibly happen if they had decided just to open everything up again and it all of a sudden just blew up in China again? I mean, it would be horrible.
And something that's very tough about this is that in most cases, actually, this is like very asymptomatic. So, um, what all the NBA players and stuff that recently tested positive, all of them came out saying that like they literally did not feel a thing. That it wasn't even like it didn't even feel like they had a cold or anything or a very mild cold, which is a problem because a lot of young people they might have it and they don't realize that they have it. Like they think it's just a cold.
Yeah, asymptomatic.
It's asymptomatic and basically that anyone that doesn't have like a weakened immune system. So like Josh said a couple think 2 episodes ago that there probably will be a time that most people have this.
Mm-hmm.
And um that's a scary thought,
Yeah.
but it's also
I believe it though. To be honest, I don't think I don't think it's under control at all yet, and I think that it's only gonna continue to get worse before it gets better. At this point,
yeah, no one really knows when this will peak out at, but a lot of some experts are saying that it's going to peak out in about 2 weeks and it's going to start declining. Some people are saying it's going to be like anywhere from 6 months to a year
yeah,
until it peaks out. So there's just a lot of misinformation and conflicting information going around right now, and no one really knows what to believe.
yeah. I just really hope that people, I don't want to call Joss out completely, but people who decided to go out on vacation because they left before it got super bad. I hope at least that if they're gone right now, when they come back, even if they're not showing any signs, they're still taking the safety precautions necessary, and they're social distancing themselves or quarantining for at least 2 weeks to know fully that, okay, well, they're not infected with the virus before they have any contact with anybody outside of their homes and family. Just because taking those safety precautions and steps like that is what's going to help at least slow down the rate of how fast this is growing right now. You agree?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And something I want to say is that this is kind of affecting everyone's lives down to everything they do. So back to what my question was, like that started this conversation. It's only been really really bad for at least in the US for about 2 to 3 weeks now. Do you think that this is going to change like the way people interact with their surroundings and other people once everything does go back to normal?
Yeah. Like I said, or like we've been talking about with the news, we don't really know how long this is going to go on for because people are saying it could go on for 2 weeks, and other people are saying it could go on for another year. And so, I guess it really depends on how long people are continuing to socially distance themselves because, uh, I definitely think there's going to be a rate in divorce that goes up right now because there's a lot of tension going on in households. I mean, you're spending way more time with the people that live with you than you're probably used to. I definitely think the baby population is going to go up. It's true. And so it'll be
Which
interesting to see what.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Say that this pandemic does go on for an extended period of time. Do you think we could see like a major issue with hospitals being overfilled, to the point where like they're basically asking like people to like not come in if they have like a cold?
Well, I think we're
Because
seeing that happen right now, to be honest, because I mean, doctors are in such great risk right now with the fact that there's a shortage on so many medical supplies and things such as masks. And so if the doctors aren't able to treat people because they're getting sick, well, I think that's where we're going to really see a wreaking havoc or some sort of catastrophe within society and healthcare. Because if people aren't being able to get treated, well, that's going to be a problem because people are going to be getting sick with other diseases as well and illnesses, and those could potentially be spreading. And then if the population is rising because people are having babies, well, then I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like this just seems like something that like shouldn't be real.
and who's laughing right now is doomsday preppers. Have you?
Yeah.
So I watched it came up as like I was on Netflix yesterday because that's what every single person right now is doing is like binge watching random stuff on Netflix. And um so Netflix, it was trending on Netflix. It's a show called Doomsday Preppers, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So it's not that long. It's only like 10, 20 episodes or something like that. And they basically cover like different people or like groups that are like prepping for doomsday. And since this was filmed obviously before this coronavirus thing, they seem kind of crazy when they're talking about it because the hosts or whatever the person, like the crew filming the documentary, they'll ask them, so what are you prepping for exactly? And they'll be like, oh, you see, one day everything's going gonna go bad, and y'all are gonna be stuck in your house and the world's gonna be ending. Well, I'm gonna be like living out on my ranch with all my supplies and everything. And, I mean, they're the ones laughing right now when you think about it. Um,
Yeah.
Something else I found interesting was Jake Paul is a doomsday prepper.
Oh, you saw that episode.
Yeah, I did. So apparently he was talking. He said that he got like a bunch of cinder block and sandbags to basically create bunkers around his house in case like it gets really bad to the point where people are attacking each other for supplies. And it just seems like that, this could either go away really, really fast, or if it does get like way, way worse, then it could potentially be like a Walking Dead situation.
Do you think this has a potential to become an apocalypse?
I think so, because I mean, the world really hasn't seen anything like this since the last SARS epidemic, which was by the way created by the same family of viruses as this. And that was controlled way faster, way easier than this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the world runs right now, where I mean, it's everything is based off of global cooperation, and China controls 90% of the world's manufacturing. If everything is shut down, there's a scarcity for supplies. Like it just seems like there's a lot of potential for this to become like a situation where there's people like boarding up their windows and stuff to prevent like other people from breaking in and stealing or whatever.
Is there
Which
is
would
there is there a part of you right now that kind of wants to be preparing for a bigger catastrophe?
I mean, I don't I don't want to prepare
Yeah.
because I don't know, I really don't want anything like that to happen. And chances are it probably won't. But when you really sit down and think about it, it seems like that there is there might be a time when people are going to be hoarded outside your house trying to break in because you have food or water or something and they don't. And that's just a very scary thought to me.
Yeah, it's something scary that I've seen. I don't know if you saw this too, but the amount of guns being purchased right now has gone up.
Yeah, because
That's terrifying.
um yeah, it's definitely scary right now because people are preparing for exactly what I'm talking about is they're preparing for the worst. And to me it seems like no one's really buying that stuff to go out and be aggressive. It's more or less like I want to protect my home.
Mm-hmm.
If stuff really does get bad and there's people like trying to come and attack us for whatever reason.
Yeah,
um
I don't particularly like guns or violence, but I mean, it scares me to think that that there could be a potential of these other people who are armed and have weapons, and then what if I'm sitting at home with no protection? I mean, that's kind of scary to me. Like, do you think that like people who don't have guns, like you and me, like, do you think we should be preparing at all if this continues to get worse, or like, what's your opinion?
um yeah, for sure. I mean, if it gets any worse than it is right now, like if it gets to the point where stores are shutting down,
Mm-hmm. Like
that's when
the
you know it's
like the businesses that are considered essential begin closing too.
if Target closes its doors, if
Yeah,
Walmart closes its doors, like it's officially gone to hell. Like you
that's
need
the
to do
part.
something.
That's the part that really scares me too, though, because I mean, how much food do you even have at your house right now? Like probably enough for like a week and a half, maybe if you make it last long enough, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
something that could
I haven't been hoarding food or supplies at all.
yeah, yeah, same. Something that could save the day, believe it or not, Amazon.
But what if Amazon shuts down as well?
See, that's the issue because Amazon is a online retailer, and when
Yeah.
you don't think of Amazon as an actual store, you don't think that there's faces associated with Amazon. However, everything you order from Amazon, it's handled by a couple hundred people, goes through like a shipping center and everything. So,
I wonder
I
if
mean, if it
Amazon will begin to start launching their shipment drones within the next couple months.
um yeah, I don't
If things begin to close, like I mean, that might have to be an option.
yeah, and it might be one of those things where, if Amazon decides, which I don't think they will because Amazon's an industry leader, but if they do decide, they could realistically make it so only the very wealthy and like affluent people can afford like their care packages being dropped off by drones or whatever. And another problem with that is like their drone service. I mean, it can't deliver anything that's more than like 2 pounds.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the like little robots that go down on wheels? Like I think they have them on campuses where they can carry like a small payload of supplies, but they go pretty slow. But it kind of looks like a little like Roomba tank type thing, and it just moves really slow, but it like carries supplies to like certain locations. I don't know if you've seen that before.
I mean, that would be cool, but
Yeah.
what's preventing someone from
Yeah,
like
from stealing it exactly.
like does the robot come with like a Glock mounted on it?
Have you seen the how much gas prices have dropped too? It's insane.
Yeah, yeah. I was taking a walk today,
Yeah.
with my dog, and walked past a gas station. 170 a gallon. That is insane. And that's considered high right now. That's like one
Yeah.
of the more expensive gas stations, the one I walked past.
Yeah. I think like one of the wholesale stores over in Shakopee or whatever, I think they're selling gas for like 140 right now.
Yeah, it's unreal. Um, and I mean, from like a like I'm personally like a person. I'm a person that follows the economy very closely, and from an economics standpoint, I don't know how. Like I don't know how the economy is supposed to rebound after this. I mean, it just seems like that this is gonna start. This is gonna start like a recession.
Do you think this very well could possibly be the next Great Depression and even worse than that?
I don't think there's gonna ever be anything worse than the Great Depression.
Really?
Because
Pe-
yeah, because
I've
because
been
we're
following a lot of economists too, though, who have been saying this could be like immensely catastrophic.
well, the reason is because they're saying stuff like that, and that's why they're getting the airtime on news channels, because news channels need something to create like hype or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I personally don't believe that anything will ever come close to the Great Depression ever again, because just because of the way that everything is, we have so many like safety net programs, we have so many things to so many laws and things like that to make sure that corporations don't spend money that they don't have in order to bail themselves out, and banks don't do the same thing. So because that's really what the Great Depression was, that these corporations were using stockholders' money, and they weren't able to pay them their dividends back, and so the stockholders, when they were trying to get their dividends, they didn't have any money. The corporations had already used all this money. See, they've got laws and regulations and everything. The SEC kind of grew, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they kind of popped out after the Great Depression just to make sure it doesn't happen again. So, I don't think it's gonna get that bad in terms of an economic standpoint. But
What about the amount
this,
of what about the like rate of poverty that goes up? Because like while they are giving out loans and they are giving out some checks to people, it still isn't going to be enough. I mean, a lot of people in the United States live paycheck to paycheck, and so I definitely think that like this isn't going to solve all our problems if this continues to get worse and we're continuing to be bunkered down for a longer period of time. Well, I mean, I don't think a check is going to really cover everybody.
I feel like I think this is gonna be definitely worse than like the 2008 recession.
Yeah. You good? We got Avril. Something's going on right now. I'm gonna be commentating this. Here we are at the Grand
Okay,
Prix.
I just wanna mute because my dad needed something.
Okay.
Out of the because I'm actually recording in his office right now, since
Okay.
it's a Saturday, so
Yeah.
he's not working from home. Something interesting. My dad, he's created a whole like home office set right here. Um, he's got like his big table with a computer here. I'll just show you.
You gotta turn off your green screen.
Yeah. 1 second. So he's got the computer monitor, and then he's got the computer mounted right next to it.
Oh,
So
nice. Nice.
yeah, I mean that's kind of what the reality right now is. Everyone's freaked out, and um, fortunately, my family, my dad, like as he's our primary source of income. He has a job that allows him to work from home for an
Hmm.
extended period of time. Most people don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Like if most people have to go to work to survive, because most people aren't working like a 9 to 5 like job where they can work at um, work like in an office.
Hmm.
And the person that takes your order at Applebee's or something, since they're not working for Lord knows how long, I mean, restaurants have been closed for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Since they're not working, I mean, like no one knows what that's gonna do, because a lot of these people, they're not homeowners, so they have to pay rent and they can't afford to pay rent.
Yeah, it's very sad and scary.
Um,
That's
so
something that I've always kind of been bothered by, just because like someone who has anxiety, the unpredictable, it's terrifying.
yeah, I feel like this is gonna so this is gonna be one of those things where there's gonna be repercussions felt for probably another decade.
Mm.
Um, there's gonna be in my opinion, if this does end up going away in a couple months, like if it goes away in the next 2 to 6 months, anywhere in that time, then I'm guessing this recession will probably, like, the economy will pull out of the recession in about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long it'll take to recover. If the economy tanks 6 months from now, I believe that if that's the very bottom of it, that it's going to peak out in about 4 or 5 years. And in that time, there's going to be, I feel like, a mental health crisis, because that's a thing that's like, mental health is a thing that people are willing to discuss it a lot than they were in years past, and people are
Which is
more,
a really good thing.
yeah,
That the
and
stigma is beginning to go away.
yeah, and people are more likely to go out and actually ask for help. However, due to this situation, there's going to be so many people going out asking for help that, these, like, psychiatrists and psychologists are just going to be overran,
Yeah,
and that's going to be another issue.
I have a relative who is a therapist, and currently they're working through video chat with their clients, because that's literally the only way that they can
Yeah,
do it right now.
because I mean, some people, like, they rely on their therapists
Mm-hmm.
to really, like, get them through life, because these people are, they're mentally unstable, they're suicidal, and if they lose that, like, secure connection with someone, that it might just push them off a cliff, which is scary to think about.
Yeah, their mental support system might be the only secure thing that they have in life right now,
Mm-hmm.
and for that to go away, that would be horrible.
Yeah, I just, um,
Yeah.
and what's crazy about this is, this whole conversation started off from one question that I asked, and the point I'm making is, that one question led an entire 45-ish minute conversation, and that's the scariest thing about this, is there's so many questions and no one knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And like, I hope we're not freaking anybody out, but I think that's like the really cool thing or important thing about the platform that you and I have built, as well as Josh and Bucky as well. But what we've been able to do is we've been able to share our opinions, and we've been actually able to go on for these long conversations with actual important meaning, and kind of maybe provide comfort for some people, or maybe like help them better understand what's going on and raise more questions so that they're more interested in learning about things that are going on and are very prevalent to their lives and the people around them, and how it could impact them. And so I think what we've done with adulting is really important, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like this isn't something that's just gonna kind of fizzle out like a lot of other YouTube channels do, because we were kind of successful, like semi-successful right away, right as we hit the ground. I mean, it's 2 weeks in and we've got close to 10K views, and
Yeah, we've been streamed for about 500 hours total.
yeah, and it's that road to 4K stream hours and 1K subscribers. So if you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe right up there. Oh, right up there. And yeah. So I mean, the question I asked was, like, are people going to move differently after this situation's over? And I believe the answer is yes, because if it does go on for as long as, it looks like it's going to go on for, which would be another couple months, it seems like, people are going to value their time with like their friends and family,
Yeah, that's the
something that
thing.
you're.
That's the thing I hope too, is that people don't uh that some positive things happen from this and people don't take this for granted, because if people begin to uh better value the fact that they have friends or that they have people around them and that they value the time that they spend with them face to face, I think that'll definitely have a really big positive impact on us, because um it's easy to get lost in technology and think that that's like your primary communication system, which, as important as it is, and that we've seen that how powerful it is over these times, it definitely is very important to your mental health and well-being that you communicate with people on a more personal level.
A question that that's kind of been bothering me is how is how is corporate America gonna do after this whole thing's over? Because I mean, people are working from home right now, and when it's seemingly okay to go back to work, I feel like a good percentage of people, I mean, it probably won't be extremely high, but I feel like a good percentage of people are gonna, ask to continue to work from home because they've got everything set up at home for them to be able to work and be just as productive as they were at like their workplace. And so how do you think like companies are going to react to that? Like
Well,
what are you going to say, like, no, you got to come into work, it's important? Like, no, I just worked from my office at home for the last 3 months. Like, are you really telling me there's something I have to do here that I couldn't do back there?
I definitely think that there's some people who are stuck in their ways, aka boomers. Um, and I hope that those leaders don't get too uh cocky or meant or caught up with the idea that, like, okay, this is the way it's been for however long. We gotta make sure it continues that way. Um, but I also think that there's going to be a lot of good leaders out there who have noticed that companies can still be successful while people are running their jobs and uh, their day-to-day business at home. And I think that if people acknowledge that and they allow it to continue to happen, I think that'll definitely have a positive impact. But I don't know. I hope that people start to allow more employees to work from home if it's possible, because I mean, why not? If it works, it works.
Yeah, something, now that we're talking about the positive impacts this might have, something that in my opinion could be positive that comes out of this would be people are going to be a lot people are going to honestly, I feel like people are going to view like the definition of success differently,
Mm.
because um you know right now I feel like it's all monetary, and like people think that if you have more money than the next person, then you're more successful than them. Well, I mean, right now, no matter how much money you have, if you're smart, you're kind of stuck inside your house doing the same exact thing as the person that you're seemingly more successful than. So I feel like that's just going to be something that changes over this time. Is, people are going to view success differently, and people are going to be more um, after this. People are going to be more intent on building good relationships, living life rather than just grinding and trying to get as much money as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Um, that's personally my takeaway from this is, at the end of the day, a lot of things don't really matter, because when it comes down to it, what matters is, what kind of person you are, um, how you treat other people, and if you're like a responsible citizen. Because there's been a lot of people that haven't acted responsibly, and they've honestly made this pandemic worse than it could have been prevented. I mean, there's multiple times that it could have been cut off right then and there, and it wasn't, because people are not taking things seriously and not being responsible. But I feel like it's just going to make people a lot more serious about life and not taking like little things in life for granted, such as hanging out with your friends, like a night out at the bar, going to a movie theater or something like that.
Yeah, you know a whole lot about nights out at the bar, don't you? Yeah, but
No comment.
the thing I want to say about that though is I don't think people should like rush to hate on people when they're like, "Oh my god, I just saw somebody out walking at a park or something." There's a lot of people who need to get out in order to like be mentally sane, and it is, I definitely do agree that it's important that people that people are maintaining social distancing and are staying at home as much as possible. But it's easy to lose yourself if you are stuck at home by yourself. So I think people need to like better understand where everyone else is coming from different perspectives. Because if you're like, oh my God, do you want everybody to die? Well, no, that's not the people.
Just because you go out for a walk with your dog does not mean you're going to transfer coronavirus.
You're gonna
That's
say something?
We're having technical difficulties.
Throughout your local town, experiencing technical difficulties.
Okay, there we go. What I was saying was
Okay.
you're not going to spread coronavirus just because you took your dog out for a walk.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like there's a big difference in something that I personally believe in was there's a big difference in hanging out with your friend at your house or their house when you both have been practicing good social distancing and going out and spending 6 hours at like Target, because at that point you're basically asking to catch something. Oh my God. Say something.
Hello. All right. I feel like we went pretty dark, or I mean pretty deep there. So I guess on a lighter note, you've been busy. Are you there?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
You said the connection was kind of bad, and it sounded like for the last 10 seconds all I heard was it sounded like you talking but in auto tune.
Hey,
Yeah.
my name is Post Malone.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
So I think that does it.
Have you been binging Netflix though?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
By any chance, have you witnessed this new documentary on Netflix known as The Tiger King?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have. I saw like one episode of it, and the only thing I remember from that episode was them talking that they would like basically take these giant snakes and like cut them and then like put like bags of drugs in them and then stitch them back up, and that's how they would transfer them. Like that's how they would transport like these drugs across like a border.
What episode was this? I don't remember that ever happening.
I don't remember, but it was basically it was about this one guy that spent like 12 years in prison for that exactly.
Were you watching a different show by any chance?
No.
Was it this? Is it also a guy though who owns like a tiger park and like breeds tigers? And
I don't remember much. I remember he owned a Bentley.
A Bentley.
Drove up in like a Bentley.
I don't know. We might be talking about two different shows. I don't know. I think we should just conclude it with that.
Doomsday Preppers. That's the show. That's the show of choice other than All American right now.
Oh, dude, I've been binging All American. I'm on season 2 right now. So good, so good.
Doomsday Preppers. That's the show to watch right now because it's like these people are literally preparing for what we're going through right now, and everyone was laughing at them. Well, guess
Are
who's
you gonna
laughing now?
Are you gonna be on that show one day?
Doomsday. Yeah, if I have enough money, I mean, I'd be down to like buy a ranch and just have like a plan ready.
You should do a vlog on how you're becoming a doomsday prepper.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got
Yeah,
it. You got any content ideas for when are you planning on posting?
Like I mentioned earlier,
Yeah, you said Tuesdays and
vlogs
Thursdays.
going up Mondays and Thursdays.
So are you posting this Monday?
I don't know about this Monday. I might, but I'm not sure about this Monday. I might post, but it just depends on if I can get enough content.
Yeah.
There's nothing really I can do right now to make it entertaining, but I'll have to figure out ways.
Yeah. I made a TikTok last night for the adulting channel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where can I find it?
You can find us on TikTok at, let's see, what's the account name? I believe it's just called Adulting Podcast. Yeah, adulting.podcast.
Oh, 0 followers. Make that 1 follower.
I just made it last night.
Nice. Make sure you guys go out and check us out on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Hey, I've been speaking of TikTok. This is a platform where I've been pretty outspoken about how it doesn't require a lot of talent, and I'm kind of popping on TikTok right now.
Oh my God.
I mean, my last 3 TikToks so this one I made yesterday is at 12.8K. The one before that was 49.5K, and the one before that is 119.2K.
What TikTok did you make yesterday?
It was something about college.
All right. Well, hopefully the two of us can figure out some content for each of our channels. If we even if I start producing some stuff too, because I'm bored. So maybe I'll do some vlogs where I just talk to myself in a dark corner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's looking like it's gonna be these Zoom chat podcasts for the next couple episodes at least until we start figuring some stuff out. I know Bucky's home right now. I'm not really sure where Josh is currently. He's off the radar. Hopefully the views are still up. Make sure you subscribe. That's very important. We need more subscribers for support. I don't know what Aviril's doing right now. He looks like he's disappearing.
I'm looking. Tiger King is trending #1 on Netflix right now.
Yeah. It's got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, that does it. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you subscribe. The link to my channel, and if Dante has a channel by then, his channel are going to be down in the description below. So make sure you go click subscribe.
A link to Pack Strong Apparel if you guys want to check that out too. Don't forget.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that does it. See you guys soon. Peace.
Peace, guys.